Hello everyone, it's Roscoe Prosco Gaming here with another video, and today, um, we're going to do a story time again. If you didn't know, I put out a poll, in my community page, and it had two choices for doing a story time, and I had four choices. So if you do want to vote on a choice, I'll make another one for the next video, and you can vote on that. Um, so yeah, but before we get started with today's story time, I do want to address this. If you do just want to get straight to the story time, that's totally fine. Just skip to the timestamp right on the screen right now. So, there was a comment on one of my videos, which I'm very grateful for. So, I'm just going to be talking to that person real quick, just out loud in my video. So, for the person who has a YouTube channel, 18 subscribers, I think you probably should subscribe to him or her. I don't know what gender they are, but I'm assuming him. They should probably subscribe to them. Their name is Dynamite Callum Plays. I'll put their um, wrote out name on the screen. Um, and if you're watching this, Dynamite, I know that you asked me if I wanted to collab. I don't know if YouTube is like shadow banning my comments or something, but whenever I try to respond to you, it just like deleted my thing. I don't understand why. So I'm just gonna give the answer right now. Sure, I would love to collab with you, but if you could contact me through my official Gmail, which is located in my description, then we can kind of talk, okay? So, with all that being said, um, let's get into today's story. And all the people who skipped should be a little bit ahead. While I'm editing this, I may skip ahead here because it does take a second to load, but anyways. Okay. So, if you didn't really catch, Nautilus, if you didn't really catch the original drift, the whole plan of this is basically to kind of just play while I'm talking, and I'm just gonna play regular Minecraft. And again, I'm sorry for the short render distance. It's just I don't want it to be like too laggy for you guys. I just wouldn't want that. So yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into today's story time. So just as yesterday, I'm gonna use fake names for everybody. I believe that I named my friend Robert in the last video. I'm gonna change his fake name to Rodriguez because I want to. So today's story time may not be as long because it's not, the longest story, but it is going to be the story of how me and my friend Rodriguez met. So this happened a little bit before 6th grade, which was in, I don't even remember the year, but so when I was uh, right before the the 6th grade actual starting thing, I don't know what to call like the first day of school. There was basically this thing where you went into the school and you met all your teachers. I'll just call it the orientation. And that's what we did. So, like, all the kids that were going to school, most of them at least, came to the orientation, especially since it was the first year of middle school. Um, so I had not met my friend Rodriguez yet. He didn't know me and I didn't know him. So how it was positioned is that there was like this hallway and there was two lines and both lines were on the walls of the hallway, just like their backs to the walls. And the two groups were kind of facing each other. So both me and Rodriguez had like anxiety, of course, because this is like new school. We're both young. We're both we don't know what's gonna happen. Um, but I see that Rodriguez kind of has like a slightly bigger space than me right next to him. Meaning that there's not a person like right to his right or left. I can't remember if it was right or left. But he was right there, and I kind of mustered up the courage to go over there and talk to him because I wanted to make new friends. And my mom had always encouraged me to try to make new friends, so that's what I did. So I was scared, frankly, worried because I didn't want to make a bad first impression. Um, but I went over there and we started talking. And it was very apparent if this was like a movie scene and you watched it, both of us were like nervous wrecks. Yeah, we were both like, yeah, we were both pretty like worried. But I think he was a little bit more worried, mostly because he is the one who has the more anxiety out of the two of us. But anyway, we just started kind of talking, and they took us on a tour of the school. And I mean, it definitely wasn't a small school, but it wasn't like a college campus. So they basically showed us everything. Um, so we kind of just talked about what we were seeing. Geez, there's so many animals, and just kind of socialized over it. Um, because there's no one else to talk to. We were both just looking for a friend. Um, and then they had us play these games. So I can't remember all of them, but I do remember there were two different games that we had to play. There was tug of war, and then there was this coordination game. I don't even know what to call it, but there were two different games. I don't even think we were on like the same group when it came to the tug of war because it was like all separated because the rope isn't super long. But during the coordination game, which I will explain to you guys, basically the whole point of the game, I guess, is that there's this certain mapped out course that strays out in front of the group, and there's two people per group. And the whole point of it is to basically have one person walking while blindfolded on this course, and the other person to basically tell them exactly where to go. So and there's all these obstacles too. So the first round, I was the person who was staying behind, and I was telling Rodriguez where to go. So he actually did really, really good. And neither of us wanted to actually do it. We kind of tall birch forest. I need to find a cave. Neither of us actually wanted to like play the game, but like it was better just to comply at that point. So then it was my turn, which went utterly horrible, actually, because I mean, he was actually pretty good at giving directions, but I just wasn't good at coordination. So, like, I was bad at my rights and lefts. So, like, I tried, but by the end of it, when time finally came, I was, like, literally in another person's line, which was, like, hilarious. But we kind of just like played that game together because we looked around and there was like no one else to actually play with. So we kind of just had to, go together. And I mean, we weren't mad about it. I mean, we didn't want to play the thing, but we weren't mad about, playing together. So that happened in late August. And then there was, there was like, the tour came first, and then there was the games. And then I think we went into the gym, and some of the teachers did some stuff, like, to make us laugh and stuff. I'm pretty sure they, like, played some, like, funny music that absolutely no one laughed to. But yeah. So what's actually crazy is that after we both went home, because that was in late August, that was like a week before school, once we actually all, like, went home, I'm gonna get the rest of the stone. And when school started, me and Rodriguez were literally in all 4 classes together. Math, English, I guess it was civics, but history and science, which was actually insane. So I didn't, expect that, especially because I was, looking for a new friend. I was trying to, find someone just to, talk to. Because, I have a little shame in saying it. I was pretty desperate for a friend. I wanted, a friend to, talk to. And a long time in my life, I didn't really have, a good person to actually socialize with and talk to, and, like, someone who actually, understood where I was coming from. So it was actually quite nice to, have someone to talk to. I'm eating raw meat. It's probably hard to focus like that. And then if you guys do remember my other video, the one that came directly before this one, if you remember that one, you would remember I talked about that mean, rude teacher, who I nicknamed Mrs. B. Well, it just turns out that Mrs. B was actually that same teacher in 6th grade. So this story that I told you was quite literally a direct precursor to the Mrs. B story. So yeah, that was today's story time, guys. I'm sorry that I cut it short. I, didn't mean to do that, but the reason I did so is because I'm also going to try to do a second video tonight. I'm going to try to record a second one, and I think that'll be fun. But it's a whole lot easier for me to record 2 slightly shorter videos than 2 long videos. And, I do want to get, a good quantity for you guys, but, I don't want to make the videos too long for you. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate, you watching this video, and stay tuned for the next video. Yeah, so I will have another poll up after I post my second video, right after this one that I've already chosen I would do. All right, guys, thank you. Roscoe Prosco, out.